playing, you just know he's, you know, he leads by example.
Well, he's 36 years old now, Fernandinho, but if you didn't know that, you'd be forgiven for thinking he was in his early 20s. The way he springs around the field and the way he reads the game has never altered. Here's João Cancelo, meanwhile, trying to bring in Rodgers, but he couldn't quite stretch out long enough. To be fair, he kept it in City possession, but not for very long, and Preston have the opportunity to break.
Well, that's his second opportunity. João Cancelo has had to look for the diagonal ball, and his pass has been spot on.
Well, referee's way play on. Barkhausen allowed to continue, but his pass is given away. Referee allowing play to continue, and it breaks out to Joshua Earl, who plays it into the path of Potts, and he goes back to Hughes.
It's interesting to see Diaz back so soon and back amongst the preseason games, and I reckon when he came back he probably said, I want to get involved. This is the sort of character he strikes me as, but really good to see him, you know, the fact he went as far as he did in the Euros, to see him back playing in these games.
Manchester City's player of the season, Ruben Diaz. Incredible first campaign as a Blue. City appearances in all competitions already for Ruben Diaz. And there are many who feel he'll be the next captain of City in the not too distant future. And this man, Fernandinho, decides to hang up the boots. Offside against Riyad Mahrez. Strikes you as a potential captain, doesn't he, Ruben Diaz?
Oh yeah, as well. He's got the leadership qualities. You know, he's the one that's brought in, you know, when they're making defensive challenges and knowing how important they are, he's high-fiving, and that's now just going right the way through the team. When you see defensive, you know, defending, it's him that, you know, the Stones and them, they like Ake, they're all high-fiving because they realize how important it is. But he is a leader. You can see it in his game and in his presence.
Just showed a replay there of a shout that Morgan Rodgers had for a penalty. Referee waved it away. Long ball out towards Ched Evans, but City win it back. Mahrez with a delightful touch inside, and an opportunity maybe, which is well saved. Ben Knight came charging in, but out came Connor Ripley, and it was a good stop to deny him.
Well, an excellent through ball. He's timed his run, absolutely brilliant. It's probably on his weaker foot, and therefore he makes the decision to shoot. And I think if it's on his stronger foot, he actually fakes to shoot and puts it on. He then put it on his other foot and slot it in. But good opportunity for City.
19 years old, Ben Knight. Played in the title-winning Premier League 2 City side, the under-23s in theory, but so many of those players are 18, 19 years old. Great experience for the likes of Ben Knight just to be in the dressing room alongside some of these City senior players. Riyad Mahrez a little puzzled by the decision that's gone against him. Felt he'd been impeded by Joshua Earl. Anyway, Preston have it. Goes all the way back to Ripley, who sends it long towards Potts. Won well by Fernandinho. Here's Mendy. Okay, bringing it forward stealthily, finding Pozzo, and now João Cancelo. Looks as though a bottle of peroxide blonde has found its way into the City dressing room. Quite a few have gone that way, it seems, in pre-season.
Well, it's good if you've got the hair.
City trying to make progress with Rodgers, whose cross goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's good through ball. Rodgers there, the left-footed cross. He's overcooked that one. He'll obviously want to put in a better cross next time. But looking at the tempo, what I'm bearing in mind that the audience won't quite know is pre-season you tend to work awfully hard in the morning as well for an early session, and then you'd have a game in the evening. And so when we look at this game, again, City will be playing this game at the pace to control it, knowing that they would have had also a physical hard session earlier this morning.
No. Cole Palmer adjudged to have put his boot too high. Players, a lot of players don't look forward to pre-season training, is the impression I've got over the years.
You're very right there. We know we need it. I have to say, I never really suffered with injuries, and they were because of pre-season and getting through. So all these players may not like and enjoy pre-season, but they'll certainly enjoy the games because this is where they get the fitness, the timing, passing.
Chad Evans has it for Preston, plays it into Earl, and Preston trying to build down their left with Andrew Hughes. João Cancelo makes life difficult. It comes off Mahrez for a Preston throw. Ryan Ledson guides it forward, looking towards the run of Barkhausen, but City again getting it away. But it's really good play that by João Cancelo. Didn't look as though he was the favourite to win that used the upper body and levered the ball into his favour.
And this is, the likes of him, Kyle Walker, having that pace allows him to recover in situations like that. And his pace certainly helped him and being aware of the situation.
Strike from Potts, going harmlessly wide. And so far, Zach Steffen hasn't had to do too much.
And this is a part I'm intrigued to see, which is, will they press? They're looking to press even this preseason because it's about getting fitness. Again, they're a good 3-4 weeks ahead of us, and the number of players they've got to look to press City and try to make City pass long. But City being City will play their way out.
Foul by Mendy gives Preston a free kick. Incidentally, the Manchester City pitch has been completely overhauled. In fact, I think it still is being fully overhauled as we speak. That's the reason City are playing here against Preston rather than on the Etihad Stadium surface. But an awful lot of work has taken place on the City pitch. Now here's a free kick to Preston, taken very, very quickly, and in the end it was turned in by Barkhausen, but City were smart enough to get that one away for a throw.
Well, I have to say, Ben Knight switched off because he was maybe 6 shots away from the ball, and it's played. He turned away. It's played down his side, and Preston probably feel a bit unfortunate not to have capitalised in that situation. But he needs to be switched on, Ben Knight there.
Yeah, it was bailed out by Nathan Ake, who slid in to clear. Well, part of the learning process, your responsibilities are not just about going forward, but defensively too when you're a midfielder. Now, João Cancelo's turned away. A clash with Ched Evans. And referee's given a free kick.
Yes, I think João Cancelo's read the flight of the ball to go and attack it. Evans has seen him on the corner of his eye and tried to delay him, and as he's put his arm, he's caught Cancelo somewhere in and around the face, but Cancelo is up and he seems to be okay.
City have already taken the free kick and João Cancelo is okay, as Sean rightly said. Now here's Knight taking up a good position, brings in Riyad Mahrez and he helps it along the line to Fernandinho, and out it goes to Mendy. Back to Fernandinho again, and his pocket was picked by Barkhausen, and Preston tried to build. Ruben Diaz has been penalised, and it's a free kick to the visitors.
Cancelo, I don't think, was happy with Evans in that previous little situation, and he's just had a little word. So normally pre-seasons you want him to get on with players getting their fitness and being clean. I don't think anything much will come of that though.
Well, they're still professional footballers, no matter the occasion. Here's Riyad Mahrez with a chance maybe to take on a couple of Preston players. He finds João Cancelo, went for the bending shot, and City settle for their second corner of the game, cleared by Earl. Two-footed João Cancelo makes him such a dangerous player.
Yes, I mean, he is a player that can put the ball on his left foot, being a right-footed player, and put it in the top corner. We've seen him do it. Sometimes I've watched and thought, no, don't put it on your left, but now I've seen him play enough times, I'm thinking, you put it on your left, he is that good to switch it on his left foot and curl it from that sort of angle.
He scored 3 goals last season in all competitions for the Blues, João Cancelo. Useful when defenders can weigh in with that kind of figure. Here's Palmer, who of course played 90 minutes for the first team against Burnley in the Carabao Cup. And then there's a foul on Rodgers and a free kick to City, which Riyad Mahrez very, very swiftly gets on the ball for. Foul on Rodgers, which offers the left foot of Riyad Mahrez an opportunity to test out Connor Ripley in the Preston goal. Well, Ripley knows what's coming, just doesn't know which side the bending shot's going to go. Is it to his right or to his left? The wall, of course, guarding the near post as Mahrez looks at it. He's gone above it and into the net. Delightful from Riyad Mahrez. And even though, as I mentioned, goalkeepers know what's coming, you still can't do anything to prevent it.
No, it's absolutely beautiful the way he struck it. You know, the goalkeeper, I think he's delaying as long as possible, thinking it may go to his right. Mahrez, it's a wonderful free kick into the, well, it's not quite top corner, but the goalkeeper in delaying just can't get there. Mahrez has just continued off from where he went last season.
Well, Pep Guardiola knows it may be a friendly, but he does also know that Riyad Mahrez will use an occasion like this to test out his free kick ability. And he has passed the test with flying colours, and City in the 25th minute lead Preston North End with their first goal of pre-season. Absolutely terrific free kick from Riyad Mahrez. I think Sean's probably right. I don't think it was the top corner as such, but as a goalkeeper like Ripley, he was a little bit caught whether to go right or left, and was a bit in no man's land in the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was thinking Mahrez may go to his right, and in that little bit of a delay, he can't get across to his left, and therefore it just ends up being a superbly free kick.
Well, he weighed in with 14 goals in all competitions last season. Riyad Mahrez. It's probably his best ever season, you could argue, for City. Not just the statistics, but the way in which he played. Riyad Mahrez seemed to be at the peak of his powers. 30 years old now. Captain of Algeria. Now the ball has gone out towards Rodgers. If he can keep it in, he can't.
Slightly overhit by Fernandinho, but Fernandinho's hit 2 or 3 diagonals that's come off. That one is probably 6 inches, just too long. Again, we're talking about timing. This is the rhythm that they're looking for, that range of passes, whether it's short or long, and getting that rhythm. And as he gets more minutes and more games, this is where you'll see those passes be spot on.
And a quick glance at Frankie McAvoy, the Preston manager, took over in March and got some good results actually in the last few games of the season before the championship campaign closed, and was given the job full-time after initially being given it as a caretaker role after Alex Neil was removed from the position. He was the assistant to Alex Neil before stepping up. And he's in charge of his first full campaign as Preston boss. It's a relentless season, the championship. 46 league games, and you start in the first round of the Carabao Cup as well. And you start a week before the Premier League, and you finish a week before the Premier League finishes. And Sean knows only too well what a hectic division it is, the championship.
It's never ending, but it's not forgiving as well, because each game is, each opponent comes up. It's a real physical challenge and an aggressive challenge. It isn't, tackles. They properly go in for tackles. But this is a good test, because again they're a little bit ahead in terms of fitness. So this is what Pep will want: can we retain the ball, retain possession, move the ball, get that rhythm till we get to the final third and see there's that interplay with Mahrez coming in off the line, Cancelo driving in and coming into that number 10 position as well.
It was Pozzo who was fouled for the free kick that City have now taken. João Cancelo and Riyad Mahrez combining sweetly as ever. In the end, Mahrez just losing out in the challenge to Earl. And away come Preston on the counter-attack with Barkhuizen, and tried to find Chet Evans, who then caught Fernandinho. And City have a free kick.
Well, just going back to that situation with Mahrez, I mean, Mahrez had beat him that badly that the player was off balance and fell into Mahrez. How the foul was given, I'm quite not sure. I'm sitting there smiling because he absolutely beat him. He absolutely tore him apart.
Yes, we were talking before about how João Cancelo is two-footed, Riyad Mahrez equally so these days, and the fact that he can go outside or inside makes him such a difficult player to mark. Here's Cole Palmer, meanwhile, for the Blues, who lead through that Mahrez goal. Mendy around the outside, brilliant burst from him, cleared but not too far. Rodgers then has a go, and Ripley is in the right position to stop Morgan Rodgers, who was on loan last season at Lincoln City, who you may recall got all the way to the playoffs in League One, weighed in with a few useful goals as well. And he was on target there, but lacked the power.
I'm really liking the look of Rodgers. He's again, City players have this really good technique. So it'll be interesting to see him get in and around the goal to see what his abilities like in terms of shots and working the goalkeeper.
I first saw Morgan Rodgers playing for West Brom against City in a Youth Cup tie. He then joined the Blues the following season and has been given senior action at Lincoln. Meanwhile, Preston trying to open City up here. Clearance goes as far as Ledson, whose shot is not particularly well struck, and Zach Steffen is down comfortably to gather for the Blues.
Yes, actually, you know, Preston will be real pleased. Nathan Ake does some good defending, clears it, gets it just outside the box, and that shot doesn't really work the keeper enough. But Preston will be pleased with getting in the final third and having a shot.
Ripley deciding to go long with Knight close by. João Cancelo wins the header, breaks for Riyad Mahrez into the path of Fernandinho. Plenty of options to his right and left, goes to Rodgers, and here is Rodgers. Can he find a shot? Just closed off as he attempted to release the ball. Finds Palmer, brings in Mendy, and now Fernandinho. Nicely slipped through to Palmer. Here's Rodgers again. Tried to play it to Mahrez on the edge of the area, but Potter's in the way. And Preston tried to build, but Diaz is there to read it well, and Pozzo with a header, and now João Cancelo gets the return from Pozzo, and City down this right-hand side looking a menace with Mahrez and Cancelo back in the groove. There's Mahrez, gets to the byline and takes the deflection on the cross, and it goes out for another corner.
Again, these two just combine, and you have it, no, you have it. João Cancelo, no, you have it. It's a brilliant play.
Corner taken short to Palmer. Back to Mahrez, who delivered. Tried to find Ake. Cleared as far as Fernandinho. Delightful play from Fernandinho, that really was. His cross was deflected, but it still reaches Mahrez. Here's João Cancelo. On the far side was Knight, and that was the intended recipient, but the ball goes out for a throw-in.
Well, we just saw a little moment there. Fernandinho, defensive midfielder, ends up in a wide position. I think he just had to remind the defender that I'm Brazilian. A few step overs. He'll be disappointed with the actual cross, but he done enough to get more than a yard, sending him the wrong way. So, but Fernandinho would not want to be in those positions. He'll want to be central, dictating play.
He did really well, Fernandinho. .350 City appearances, Fernandinho. And hopefully another 50 more at least next season with his fitness levels. At the start of last season, City could play in 62 matches. They ended up playing in 61. The only one they didn't play in was the FA Cup final. They played the maximum of Champions League, Carabao Cup. Obviously, here's João Cancelo. Nicely taken by Rodgers. Now Mahrez. Well, there's plenty of activity on the sideline as we reach the last 10 minutes of the first half. A number of City substitutes available, and doubtless we'll see all of them at some point. Here's Mahrez.
It's quite normal what we're seeing Preston Northern do now, which is really just stay compact. You know, again, they'll be happy with the possession the City have outside the box, but they certainly want to have bodies to make it compact.
Well, the through ball does not catch Barkhausen offside, and in the end it was excellent goalkeeping by Zach Steffen, the sweeper keeper, you could call him there.
Brilliant bit of goalkeeping.
Now City on the counter-attack. Mahrez and João Cancelo again combining, but this time won by Hughes. But Zach Steffen absolutely faultless. Now here's Fernandinho, might think about clipping it through towards Rodgers, and almost did. Here's Pozzo, he's just beaten to it, and Preston can smuggle the ball away. But goalkeepers don't just have to make contributions with their hands, they have to make them with their feet, and Zach Steffen has to be applauded for the way that he got there in front of Barkhausen a few moments ago.
Well, they were looking to counter-attack Preston there, and who ends up there breaking it up? Well, it's Fernandinho again, just knowing where to be, positioning himself. The players over knocked his dribble, and Fernandinho is there to collect that, and City regain possession.
Ake and Fernandinho keeping the ball between them for a few moments, not letting anyone else have a touch. And then Ake finds Ruben Dias. Back to Ake, who played a couple of games for the Netherlands in the Euros as a substitute. Oh, that's well, the flag's gone up. Otherwise, it could have been very, very interesting, because Knight might well have been adjudged to have been through on goal there, but the flag had already gone up for offside, and Liam Lindsay's not going to be red carded.
Wow, Benjamin Mendy is pulled off a brilliant pass. But looking at Zach here, he's read it. He's held himself thinking, I need to see the bounce. Does it come through to me? He has to go, and he does exceptionally well in timing it.
A couple of major talking points. At one end, Zach Steffen with a brilliant interception. Then at the other, Ben Knight looking as though he was going to steal through. Liam Lindsay held him back, but was saved by an offside call. Would have been interesting had the flag not gone up, whether the referee would have sent him off. Maybe a pre-season friendly, but rules are the rules, I suppose. Anyway, here comes Preston looking for an equaliser. Earl has it, now Barkhausen. Goes back to Ledson. Ledson's ball in is a tempting one, but it's cleared in the end by Ruben Dias, and then Cole Palmer up towards Knight. City win it back with Palmer. Palmer gets it for a third time, and then manages to get away from one challenge but not the other, and then brilliant goalkeeping by Zach Steffen in front of Barkhausen, and just as well that he was, or it would have been a tap-in for an equaliser. He's been sharp, Zach Steffen, considering he only returned to first-team training yesterday.
Yes, he looks absolutely on it. It doesn't look as though, you know, his timing's off in any way. Again, he's reading it, bouncing the ball, when to come, is making the absolute right decision. And again, his handling on a few occasions has looked nice and tidy as well.
Here's Fernandinho, now Mendy, Fernandinho. Diaz, João Cancelo, again Mahrez available. When is he not? Pozzo, João Cancelo up towards Knight, it's just above his head, and was cleared in the end with a backward header by Story. City still in possession of the ball though, with Rodgers, and now Fernandinho, and Mahrez has it, looking for the 1-2 with Pozzo maybe. In the end it reaches João Cancelo. That's delightful from Cancelo. And he still manages to find Mahrez, and Mahrez clips it in towards Mendy, who stole in, and Palmer's over the bar. Terrific move by City. Mendy stealing in round the back, picked out by Mahrez, who helped it on to Cole Palmer, and Palmer will be disappointed that he hasn't scored.
Yes, I mean, it's absolutely brilliant play. I mean, the ball by Mahrez is absolutely beautiful. And Palmer, I've been really impressed because his arrival into the box, his timing is really good. I'm really impressed with him, and I know that it's an easy chance that he's had there, but again, we talk about timing. The more games, the more minutes you get, these sort of things become very, very simple.
Well, Cole Palmer, I mentioned, played against Burnley in 90 minutes in the Carabao Cup. He had a little cameo appearance in the Champions League against Marseille last October, and he was on the City bench 8 times in the Premier League. Very much part of the first team squad, and one thing Pep Guardiola has always done is introduce youngsters into the first team fray just so they can get a taste of what it's like to be among some of the greatest names in the game. And there's no better opportunity than pre-season to just make a name for yourself, as Phil Foden did, you may recall, a few summers ago in a Manchester derby in America. And if memory serves, in an interview after the game when Phil Foden made his bow in pre-season, Pep Guardiola said this kid's one of the best he's ever seen, and how true a prediction that's proven to be. And remember, Phil Foden's only just turned 21.
Again, we've just seen Fernandinho attempt a ball over the top, and again, we're talking a half of, a foot just off the pass, and again, I just see another game or two. These passes are absolutely spot on, and it's you can see he's actually inches out from his passes at this moment, but they just become tighter and tighter till they become perfection.
Preston trying to build from the back, and they've managed to work it through to Barkhausen, but good challenge by Ruben Diaz. Ake then in the way of Ched Evans and lays it into the path of Diaz. João Cancelo and Diaz, and now Mendy. City working it really sweetly from the back, even if they are a little rustic. Here's Fernandinho. Now João Cancelo trying to thread it through to Ben Knight's a lovely attempt, wasn't it? And the run was good as well. Let's also give good marks to Ben Knight for making the dart into the area.
Yes, recognising his space. Again, this is where we talk about Cancelo popping up in a 10 position and giving it through balls. The ball was absolutely spot on. The run, I thought, was also really good. So again, this will get tighter and cleaner, but good movement there.
Yeah, plenty of pluses in the opening 45 minutes for City. Not least of which, of course, the fact that they lead through that delightful Riyad Mahrez free kick. Can't imagine the referee will add any time. And indeed not. So the first 45 minutes of pre-season for City goes, well, perfectly in many, many ways. A clean sheet at one end and a goal from a free kick by Riyad Mahrez. There'll be plenty of changes, I'm sure, in the second half, but so far so very, very good. At half-time, City 1, Preston 0.
Manchester City are 90 minutes away from winning the Premier League for the first time.
on North End emerge for the second half. City have already emerged for the start of the second half, but with 10 new outfield players. So we will talk you through those changes as the second half gets underway. But all the 10 outfield players have made way, and the only player who is still out there who started the first half for the Blues is the goalkeeper, Zach Steffen, who has just done a little fist pump with the senior man of those who've come on, the captain in the second half, Philippe Sandler. Dutchman signed from Zwolle, who was on loan at Anderlecht 18 months ago, but picked up an injury that has kept him out for some time, actually. It's good to see him fit and well again. And as I say, I will talk you through all the changes as the second half emerge, because as you can imagine, not all the names and numbers have come up on the substitutes board, because it will probably take about 10 minutes to go through every single one of them. But as the game goes on, I will tell you who's come on. It'll be the new look City that get the second half underway. And just to go through the players who've come on in this second half, it's probably easier just as they touch the ball to do it, rather than go through a list of 10 names with you. But the first pass is aimed towards one of those substitutes who've come on inevitably. Luke Bolton trying to get a touch there. It's gone out for a
The good thing is a lot of these City players, the young ones, are all used to playing with each other. So I would imagine that again, they'll want to, similar to the lads who've gone off, get their rhythm, get that touch, get their first pass, their length of pass in terms of those who knock those long passes, get that rhythm going.
Steffen has the ball at his feet. Guides it into the path of Pablo Moreno, Spanish striker who City signed from Juventus, was on loan at Girona last season in the second tier of the Spanish league. So important for these young players to get meaningful game time. Ball goes out to Sami Dozy, who has the chance to attack from this left-hand side. A youngster who was part of the Premier League 2 title-winning side and previously the FA Youth Cup winning squad. And he's already won a free kick for City.
This will give him a nice bit of confidence, receiving a ball early, driving at the press in North End's defence, and getting that foul. So this, as a forward coming on, this he'll want more of this. He'll be looking to be fed more, to have those, to be able to run at Preston North End.
Well, hovering over the free kick is the aforementioned Pablo Moreno, but also Patrick Roberts, who has been with City for a number of years now. It's Pablo Moreno that hits the free kick. It struck the centre of the wall, really. And here's the first touch of the second half for Claudio Gomez. Goes all the way back to Zach Steffen. French-born midfielder who came on as a substitute in the FA Cup last season at Swansea. You may recall Claudio Gomez had around about 8 or 9 minutes there. Here's Luke Bolton. Stopped in his tracks. Preston haven't made changes by the look of it. Story there making the intervention.
be interesting to watch. Claudio Gomez is in that holding role. You know, he obviously trained with the first team and be able to see what Fernandinho has been able to do. I'm intrigued to see how he sniffs out the play. Certainly one there.
Such an important role for any Pep Guardiola team, but he's been caught in his tracks there a little bit. Preston trying to build, but good